This is Jonathan Agler for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Chris Billam-Smith here at McGuigan's gym. Chris, how are you, mate?
Yeah, very well, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Not bad. How's life been? How's family? How's everything been with yourself?
Yeah, been good, mate. Good. Got 2 boys now, a 6-month-old and nearly 4-year-old. So yeah, life's good, mate. I'm enjoying it.
Good to hear. Obviously, we want to see you back in the ring sooner rather than later. What's the latest?
Taking away training, in talks with various promoters. So hopefully, have something to announce soon and get something sorted soon. But yeah, I'm just enjoying training, to be honest with you at the moment, and then be ready for whatever opportunities come.
I guess, has it been frustrating the last sort of year? It must have been, not being in the ring for over a year. Oh, well, coming up for over a year. Yeah, what's that been like? Frustrating?
Yeah, definitely. Like towards the end of last year, we were really looking to get out. So, and obviously we had purse bids and stuff, and didn't really come to fruition. So yeah, it's frustrating, but sometimes that's just the way the world. Well, I've been very fortunate in my career how everything most of the time has run pretty smoothly in a boxing sense. So this is obviously one where it's slightly different, but so far in terms of the back end of last year. But it's a new year now, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring.
Despite not being in the ring, you've still been sort of in the conversation in the cruiserweight divisions. Opetaia mentions your name quite a bit. Obviously, you signed for Zuffa now. I know you're obviously talking to various promoters, so probably don't want to say too much, but would that make sense for you to go there?
It's an option, yeah. That's an option. I think we've just got to weigh up what everyone offers, and that offer doesn't mean financial necessarily. It means lots of things. It means the right opponent, the route, the long-term plan. It's not about the next fight, it's about the long-term plan for me, because I'm coming into the last few years of my career and I need to have a plan in place rather than just, have this fight next and then we'll see what happens after that. So it has to be a long-term plan, a long-term route for me to take and focus on.
Saw Opetaia's win, obviously over Glanton. What did you make of it?
Yeah, he did what he had to do in terms of Glanton is dangerous in close. His only chance of beating him is to nail him with a decent shot, and that's going to be a bent arm shot. He's quite short, Glanton, so his good work is up close, and Opetaia won every round, and then a couple of points taken off here and there. So yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting him to go out there and stop him and stuff, but I didn't necessarily expect that. I thought, why would you? Opetaia's it's cruiserweight division, anyone can be hurt. He's been hurt in his previous fight, so why would you give the other guy a chance when you've got the ability he has to just make it easy, win every round, and get the job done? So yeah, obviously you can't really argue with it.
Obviously, he has a belt, so I'm guessing you want that fight this year, right?
Sorry, what's that?
You and Opetaia this year. You want that?
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that fight. I think for me, the focus now is on the biggest and best fights, and that's not going to be next, I don't think. Opetaia's just boxed, and Zurdo Ramirez are fighting each other, but they're whoever wins the Zurdo Benavidez fight, whoever wins that, and Joe Opetaia, they're the 2 biggest names in the division, and they're the fights I'll be looking at. So we'll have to figure out what's the best route for us and what route we can go down to take that.
Just curious what you made of all the talk during the week of that fight about the IBF belt and whether it was on the line. Obviously, it wasn't on the line, and I'm not sure if they've stripped him or what's going on with that, but what did you make of that? And if you did sign with Zuffa, for example, would that be something you're considering? Fighting for belts and stuff, or are you not too bothered as long as you get the biggest fights?
I think you have to look at it like, does the fighter make the belt, or does the belt make the fighter? And I think the fighter makes the belt. Like, for example, if Joe Opetaia was IBF world champion and I boxed him and beat him, would I get more props or the same props as if I boxed obviously Vidal and Masternecker fighting for an eliminator for the IBF, or would I get more props for beating them for the same belt? Like, how would people see you as the number one for beating Joe Opetaia without a belt, or them guys with a belt? And I think that's how you've got to look at it. I agree. I see both sides of it as well. I see the IBF's point of view, and but I also see Zuffa's point of view, and I think. I think you want the best fighters fighting for the belts. In an ideal world, the best fighter that you view as the best fighter would hold your belt. So I was surprised that they didn't sanction the fight when they'd already previously sanctioned it. But yeah, I think that's sort of the way I look at it. Is the names are probably, you look at Mayweather at the end of his career, didn't box for belts really, he was just boxing the biggest names, the biggest fights, and people gave him props for who he was beating, not for what he was winning. And I think that's always going to be the biggest thing in a lot of fighters' legacies, of who they box, not what they box for.
Just on Boxer, obviously you were with them for the last few fights. You mentioned the purse bid that didn't happen. After that, I believe they didn't bid on it. After that, was that it? Your contract was done with them, kind of thing?
They had to provide a fight before the end of last year, and they didn't do that. So that's that. But it's not, the relationship's not dead. The time we had together, me, Boxer, Sky Sports, was the trio of great things for my career, and in British boxing. I think around that time was one of the massive success stories. So we had a great time together. They're still an option to box with.
Of course, they delivered the Vitality as well, so exactly. That was an unbelievable night. Chris, get your opinion on Benavidez, Zurdo. Who do you think is going to win the fight?
I thought Zurdo but then that was pre-face-off, and then when I seen the size difference, which seems to be quite sizable, a lot more than I expected, I'm edging more towards Zurdo. I thought Zurdo was, just edging it before, and it was just the other side of a 50-50 towards Zurdo, and now I'd say it's more of a 60-40 towards Zurdo, just because of the size. I know how smart he is, but they've also been in there a lot together. So Benavidez, it's not like Benavidez has seen Zurdo from a distance. He's been in there with him. He's shared the ring with him for many years. So I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight for boxing, and especially for Mexican boxing. I think it's a huge fight. It's a fight that makes sense in the way that boxing works. Yes, he's coming up a division, but so did Zurdo, and I think that's great for boxing. Mexicans aren't ever in boring fights. They're two very, very big, tough men, I edge just towards Zurdo, but I'm expecting a great fight.
And if Benavidez wins, that's surely another option for you and Benavidez.
Yeah, whoever wins that fight is the other name in the division other than Opetaia, really. Other than that, that's the long-term plan. They're the biggest names at the moment. They're the ones you're going to box for, to create a legacy of sorts. Or for me, it's about being proud of who I've fought and who I deem to be the best. And I think those three, Benavidez, Zurdo and Opetaia, are the best three outside me. So for me, it's very important to get those fights.
There's two more, Dubois and Wardley. I know you've sparred Dubois. I'm not sure about Wardley, but what do you think of the fight?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting fight. I think I think people can look at it like, Wardley keeps pulling it out the bag, and Daniel's been knocked out and stuff like that. But I think Daniel throws a lot of shots, and I think he's the biggest puncher that Wardley's been in with by a bit of a way. Obviously, they're all big punchers in heavyweight, but Justice Hooney was a bit more of a boxer, puts his shots together more, and can't knock you out with one punch, but doesn't really rely on that. Daniel can knock you out with lots of shots through all his shots, like with any shot, but also has one punch knockout power as well as putting his shots together. So I think it's a really interesting fight. If Daniel's anywhere near his best, I would edge towards him just because of the work rate. But Fabio's Fabio, and he seems to find a way. So it's a great fight. It's a great fight for British boxing, and I hope everyone tunes in and really gets behind that fight, because they're the sort of fights you want to see. Fabio didn't. That's a dangerous fight for Fabio. He's obviously, but you've got to respect him. He keeps taking dangerous fights and pulling out of the hat.
Have you sparred Wardley before?
No. I've seen him in here sparring Lawrence, but never sparred him.
You've been in there with Dubois, right?
Yeah, but years and years ago. And only a couple of rounds here and there.
Sure. Chris, just lastly, two of your stablemates are on the April 5th bill. You were there in New York, I remember. Just talk to us about their fights coming up, and I know you'll be there April 5th.
Yeah, I'm excited. Really excited from both. Obviously Caroline's in a unification fight against Terry Harper, and then obviously Ellie's fighting for undisputed, which I'm buzzing about. Like you said, I was there in New York, and she lit up Madison Square Garden and gave me one of the best fight nights I've ever been to. It was a very, very special night, and for her to finally complete the collection, me and her are very, very close in the gym. So to be there and watch her, clean up the division and really put a stamp on just cleaning out the division and put a stamp on her career and legacy. I'm so excited for her. She's one of the best humans I've met, and I love spending time with Ellie. So I'm excited for her to fulfill her dreams.
And just lastly, I mentioned the Vitali fight. It was one of the best atmospheres that I've been to in that stadium. Do you think you'll go there again, or do you think you've done it now and just leave it at that kind of thing? Do you think there's an opportunity to go back there?
I think the only opportunity, I think they're building at the end of the season, so they're starting the building work, so you can't do it then. So I think they're finishing it. I think they want to finish it the end of next season, so there might be a possibility there. Who knows? The first event could be me in a big fight at the new stadium. So that would be something. But I think if that's the case and it's a new stadium, I think it appeals to me more. I don't really want to, because nothing's going to beat the night I had there at the last time against Lawrence, winning the world title and everything about it. But yeah, with a new stadium, it'd be nice to put my stamp on that stadium as well. But maybe I'll have to take something that they ripped down from the new stadium and keep that as some memorabilia as well.
Chris, appreciate your time, and hope to see you back in the ring in a couple of months.
Nice one, cheers.